So it was in the 1990s when I first read about this church, and this is in Quezon City. This is called the San Pedro Bautista. But it took a while before I came to see this church because during those days you don't really have any ways of discovering where it is. Don't have Google yet. I finally got to see this church by, I would think, early 2000. So this began as a rest house for missionaries that were going to be sent to other places in the Pacific, where the church is thinking of converting to Christianity, especially in Japan. This was in the 18th century. Nice church. Now, when I first came here, this road was just plain asphalt. Anyway, we're here to check out if there are any heritage churches here. Heritage houses. That's the heritage church behind me now. The name of this road is San Pedro Bautista. It's named after the church. The church is built on a hill, and if you could see, the road is sloping down. That goes down to a river. It's called San Juan River. But I like what they did with the pebble-looking road. Makes it look like classic heritage. Nice coffee bar on my right, which is also a vape shop. Interesting. I should have brought my shades. This place is very close to Roosevelt Avenue. There are some old houses here, but it doesn't date back to the Spanish times. And they also built arches. So those, a lot of these developments and improvements would have been installed here by after 2010. Check that out. They like building arches. So it's called Barangay Damayon. Damay is consoling. So I'm not sure where this one goes to. But anyway, we'll check that out later. We'll turn right and this has become a busy road. I could only guess. Imagine what this place would have looked like a century ago. Our goal is to walk around the perimeter of the parish. Now, what's amazing about that church is that it produced the first saint who ever lived in the Philippines. And there was one other, I think a Filipino, a local guy, a native, who also stayed there for a short period of time to train. So I'm actually on San Francisco del Monte. It could have been San Lorenzo Ruiz that eventually became a saint. And they were sent to Japan in the 18th century, maybe 19th century. And obviously what happens next is that they were punished, they were captured, punished, and eventually soaked in boiling oil. That's how the story goes, by the Japanese, because they didn't want to be converted. So now, this intersection, that is Roosevelt Avenue. There's a ambulance behind me. Let's see if we can walk all the way. Because many years ago, I saw an old house here. The problem is, and it was dated back to the Spanish times. But the problem is, I'm not sure if I was able to take a photo of that house that was inside a property that was used as a depot many years ago. And I just happened to chance looking at the house because they opened the large gates. And I was surprised that there was an old heritage house inside. I was trying to check it out on Google Maps, but sometimes it's easier to check it on the ground. That's what we're here for. So we are on Roosevelt Avenue. Now, one has to remember that Quezon City was carved out of different towns of that particular period before. There was no Quezon City before 1930s. So they carved it out of San Juan, Mandaluyong, Manila, Caloocan, San Mateo, Marikina, and several other places. So that particular church, the San Pedro Bautista, would have belonged to one of those towns before. But it'll take a lot of research to find out what town it was. And like this place, Roosevelt, which is now Quezon City, which could only imagine probably this was also part of Caloocan before. Or it could be part of Manila, or it could have been part of San Juan. We can only make a guess. But to evaluate and check this information, one needs to go back to old maps and check what are the different boundaries of those towns before they eventually became subdivided and became part of Quezon City. So on my right is a watchtower. It's a Protestant church, and you know, this different organizations, they take up a lot of space. So I suddenly saw this old house. Good thing it's not been sold or converted yet, but that dates back to, geez, easy, early 40s, 30s perhaps. But I don't think the scope or the boundary of the church would reach this far. If it is, usually that would be the average people. The prominent people usually live closer to the church. And usually they will be the larger houses. Anyway, I saw this old heritage house in Google Maps, and I just wanted to check it out. So we'll have to cross the road here. Okay, there's a crossing here. There you go. So one thing that you will observe in recent times, most heritage houses are usually converted into diners or event places. So you could rent it out and have a party in those places. Such as this particular house here. Let's check this place out. Obviously it's not allowed to operate right now, but you could see it's a beautiful house. So it's been converted into a events place. So we'll go back towards Kingston Avenue. And investigate houses within a certain range or distance away from the church. Okay, we're now at the corner of Del Monte and Roosevelt again. We're heading towards Kingston Avenue. So if you head up that direction, that goes to Quezon City, Timog. And if you head up that direction, it goes to Manila. I know it's red, but I'll give it a try. Woohoo! Over the years, this place has become very busy. That's a kuliglig. So the newest attraction in this place is this Las Casas Filipinas de Acuzar. It's a event place which is an offshoot of the Acuzar in Bataan, Bagak. Interesting. Oop. I almost fell. Another look. So inside there are vintage houses, but of course they're all okay, made up. I'm pretty sure this is the Torres property. Yep, that's the one. Very nice story. For a short period of time, I knew one of the owners of that property, and they are part owner of the bowling lanes. Kuyat. It's nice to see that it's still here. Let's check out what this thing looks like on the side. Never actually seen this portion before, but only up to the end of their property. I won't go any further. It's too far away from the church. Alright. So their property goes all the way around. Interesting.